Alrighty then. This is Caleb Jones, and this is Alpha Male 2.0. Freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. Location-independent income through a location-independent laptop-based business that sets you free from your 9-to-5 corporate job and or your dumb gigs. Dating multiple attractive women all at the same time with no lying, cheating, or drama. Long-term, the freest lifestyle the modern man can experience in the collapsing era in which we live. Let me adjust my microphone. There we go. That's better. Today we're going to talk about porn. I've never talked about this. I've mentioned it. I've never talked about porn. I'm shocked. But goddamn, we have to talk about porn. Jesus Christ, you guys. Holy shit. Hang on a moment. I want to make sure the technology is working. All right. Okay. Before we get to our topic, I have to have a word from our sponsor. I'm hearing from the control room we have a sponsor. Hang on. Yes. Okay. Hang on. Our sponsor. This podcast is sponsored by Kamala Harris. Vote for Kamala Harris. She says a bunch of crazy shit that makes no sense. And she refuses to answer any questions. Plus, Donald Trump is Hitler. You don't want Hitler as your president, do you? That would be bad. Vote for Kamala Harris for a better tomorrow. All right, thank you from that word from our sponsor. Okay, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? We have another sponsor? I got to read another sponsor. Okay, hang on. I got another sponsor. Hang on. Sorry about this. Got to pay the bills. This podcast is also sponsored by Donald Trump. Vote for Donald Trump. He says a bunch of crazy shit that makes no sense. He makes a bunch of promises that he will never follow through on. Plus, Kamala Harris is a nut job. You don't want a nut job as president, do you? That would be bad. Vote for Donald Trump for a better future. Okay, that's it. Great. Let me see. Make sure we have the questions coming in. Okay, good. Yeah, I was a few minutes late. Sorry about that. Yeah, Pink Firefly right now is in Arizona. Arizona's a swing state. So I was talking the other day. She goes, "Oh my God, all I'm getting are ads for Kamala and Trump. That's all I'm seeing everywhere I go. Oh my God." I said, "Yeah, sweetheart. It's because you're in a swing state." And of course, like most Americans, she said, "What's that? What's a swing state?" So I'd explain it to her. Well, sweetheart, whenever there's a presidential election in the United States, the president's only chosen by about 6 or 7 states out of the 50. And she's like, "What?" Yeah, most Americans have no idea how this works. What? Yes, because the vast majority of states automatically go for one candidate. So California automatically votes. They give all the votes to the person with the D at the end, even if that person is a maniac, which she is. And then Texas automatically goes, the entire state goes to whoever has the R by his end, even if he's a maniac, which he is. So there's only 6 or 7 states. They change every time, but it's only 6 or 7 where it's a swing state. It's kind of in the middle, and they don't know. So the presidential candidates all focus on those states because those are the only people whose vote actually means anything in the United States. And she's like, "That's crazy. I was never taught that in school." I said, "Of course not." All right, let me get my notes up here. How do I zoom this without my other mouse? Yeah, okay. Hang on one second here. You guys are asking lots of questions about porn. Good. Okay, is my audio back? I touched a cable. Put in the chat that you can hear me. Say, "Yes, I can hear you." Shit. Sorry about that. I should get more situated next time. Yeah, put in the chat, audio good. Okay, great. All right, thank you. Okay. Hang on. Please hold. Hang on. All right. Okay. Fuck, hang on a second. You need to cooperate, screens. Come on, screen. Cooperate, screen. There we go. Yay. All right, great. You can hear me. Great. All right, sorry about that. Porn. And I'll get to your questions at the end. Porn. I have said this before. I have never been a hardcore porn guy. Certainly not since my conversion to Alpha Male 2.0 17 years ago, because I get laid a lot. And when you get laid a lot, generally speaking, you don't need a lot of porn. Porn is kind of the realm of guys who don't get laid very much. Now, that doesn't mean just single guys. That also means a lot of married guys or guys live with girlfriends, because they're not getting laid either because of monogamy. So now, have I ever watched porn? Of course, for fuck's sake. I'm a man. I have a penis. Of course I've watched porn. I'm not saying I've never done it. I'm not Ben Shapiro. I'm a human being, of course. And when I was younger, I watched a lot more, but I wasn't getting laid. But I realized that I'm weird about this, that I'm an exception. Men love porn. Same way that men love strip clubs. I don't like strip clubs. I hate strip clubs. I don't like going to strip clubs. Every time I've been to a strip club, it's been because I was with a group of other people who wanted to go, or with a woman who wanted to go, including Pink Firefly. She loves strip clubs, but I've dated other women who like strip clubs too. Fine. My deal is, and I admit that I'm weird, I'm unusual about this. The microphone is like not cooperating today. Hang on. Did I lose audio again? Shit, hang on a second. Sorry about this. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. I admit that I'm weird and I'm an exception. When I see sexual activity in front of me, so if I go to a strip club, okay, problem number one is that I'm not kidding. 4 out of the 5 strippers I'll see, I'm not attracted to at all. I'm kind of picky, and I have a type. I have more than one type, but I have a narrow set of types. So literally 4 out of the 5 strippers, I won't be attracted to at all. And many of the strippers, I will be physically turned off by seeing them. Like, if a woman has a flat chest, that turns me off, even if her face is a 10. That's me. If you love Gal Gadot, great. I don't. She's a beautiful face. Her body looks like a 12-year-old boy. I'm not into that. If you're into those Ariana Grande type chicks, wonderful. I'm not. Everybody likes something different, okay? So I'm like, half the time I'm not, she doesn't turn me on at all. And there half the time I'm like, ooh, she's gross. I'll just eat this nacho. I enjoy the food at the fucking strip club more than I do the strippers. Now, the 1 out of 5 who comes out who is hot, who I think is hot, if she's hot and she's sexy and she's turning me on, I'm like, why is she over there? She should be sitting on my dick right now. We should be having sex. I want to have sex with her, not watching her from 20 feet away. This is dumb. Or more often is the case, I'm sitting next to an attractive woman who wanted to go to the strip club. I'm like, why are we not home having sex right now instead of watching chicks? That's just how my brain works. So if I'm watching porn, most porn is disgusting today. I'll get to that in a minute. But if I'm watching porn that actually turns me on, which is pretty rare, my first thought is not to jerk off. My first thought is to pull out my cell phone and text one of my FBs to have them come over so I can have real life sex. That's just how I work. Now, I realize that's weird. I get it. The vast majority of human men are not like this. I mean, I have brothers. I remember the early 2000s when people used to burn CDs and burn DVDs. My brothers, my 2 little brothers, my God, they'd have stacks of burnt DVDs with porn, just stacks of porn. I'm like, really? Like, yeah, man, it's awesome, dude. Great, fine. I understand that. I understand it's a human need that men have. Men are visual and they're horny, and especially when A, they're not getting laid, and B, they're monogamous, which also means they're not getting laid once it's past NRE in the honeymoon period. So I get this. Also, hang on a moment. Also, like I said, I get laid a lot. I have sex 2-3 times a week, and I've been getting sex 2-3 times a week or more for the past 17 years, with rare exception. I've been non-monogamous Alpha Male 2.0 consistently for 17 years. Some of this stuff is going to sound throughout this podcast. I'm going to say some things that's going to sound like I'm bragging, and okay, but that's not the point. I'm giving you the data and the facts behind how this works, especially when you get into the specifics about porn. When you're getting laid a lot, especially with women you find attractive. Most men, not all men, there are exceptions, but most men don't need to watch a lot of porn or jerk off a lot. You don't. Now, there's some weird guys. I knew some guys back in the pickup artist days who would get laid a lot and they still have to jerk off and watch porn all the time. Those are outliers. If you're getting laid all the time with women you find attractive, guess what? You're going to suddenly realize you don't need to watch very much porn. Oh, so porn is not a porn problem in most cases. It's a not getting pussy problem. Start getting laid. You don't need to watch a lot of porn in most cases. Yes, there are exceptions. So that's another reason why I'm not into porn. Let's see. I have a note in my notes, and I don't understand it. I remember. Oh, yeah. On top of me getting laid, this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm telling you honesty from my life, events from my life here. I remember many years ago now, the first time I had this feeling or thought, I was having sex with a new woman at my house on the floor in my living room at night in front of the fireplace on a blankie, my little sex spot. First time I had sex with this person. She was a real sweetheart too. She was great. And she gets naked and she gets under me and we start doing it. And I'm looking at her while I'm having sex with her in the full firelight. And she looks like a porn star. Now, when I say porn star, I don't mean modern day disgusting Pornhub chicks. I mean the classic definition of what you would view as a porn star from like the 80s or the 90s. So big blonde hair, very pretty face, big giant boobs that are perfectly round, little waist, bigger ass, the stripper kind of look. And I'm looking at her while I'm having sex with her. I'm just visualizing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in a porn right now. I'm literally living a porn. And the scenario under which I was having sex with her, which I will not disclose. Can I? No, I can't. I've made promises, so I can't talk about her. The scenario under which we were having sex, it had nothing to do with sugar daddy or any of that stuff. This was many years ago. Was kind of porn-ish. It's something you would have seen in a porn movie, sort of. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm living a porn right now. I don't need porn. My life is a porn. I literally thought this. I'm in a porn scenario having sex with a woman who could very easily be in porn. Several of the women I've had sex with are now, not several, two or three are now doing porn. Not when I was seeing them, but they are now doing it. Or some versions of variation of porn. So that's another reason why I'm not super into porn, is that, I live a porn, sort of. Lately, in preparation, this is going to sound funny, but it's the truth. In preparation of this podcast, I've been doing some research and I've been watching porn. Yeah, right, Caleb, you're doing research and watching porn for research. Yeah. No, it sounds funny. I don't like porn, most porn. But I've been on Pornhub last few weeks poking around, looking at porn. And very quickly, it is now apparent to me the real and biggest reason why I'm not into porn, especially modern day porn. I'm going to compare modern day porn to when porn peaked. And I've mentioned this before in my blogs. Porn, in my opinion, but I think I'm right, peaked in the 90s. So you had porn in the 70s. It was kind of gross. You had porn in the 80s. It was pretty bad. Porn in the 90s, pretty damn good. As porn goes, again, I'm not into porn, but porn in the 90s, the women were hot. Nobody had tattoos. Nobody had piercings. Women were not putting on a show. I'll cover that in a minute. The men looked normal. You didn't have a bunch of guys with shaved heads and tats or super long hair, or, it was nice. They were normal scenarios. I'll cover that in a minute. But anyway, today's Pornhub porn, and Pornhub, I realize now I didn't know this. It links to other porn sites, so I kind of looked at a few of those. I know instantly now I'm turned off by porn. I don't like most porn. And here's why, okay? And this is the main point of what I'm trying to convey to you today, among several points. It's bullshit. Porn that you watch today is all bullshit. Well, Caleb, of course it's bullshit. It's fake. No. You don't. You're all wrong about this. It's complete bullshit. So porn today, again, it's going to sound like I'm bragging, but this is the truth. I have personally experienced many of these porn scenarios that they're portraying in these porn videos. So all these videos like stepdaughter and two sisters and stepmom and, fucking a girl at the office. And I've done those things. I've had sex with a large number of 18, 19, 20-year-old girls. A lot. I don't do that now. I don't go that young anymore. I'm older. I don't need that anymore. But I've done a lot of that. A lot. I've been with two sisters, not at the same time, but I've been with 18-year-old sister and 21-year-old sister. I've done that with more than one sister couples. My big fantasy, I've talked about this. My big fantasy for many years was mother-daughter. Not at the same time. I don't like threesomes, but like hook up with mother, then hook up with legal daughter, or hook up with daughter, then hook up with mom. If mom's, under 40. I've done that multiple times. I have been in many, not all, but many of these scenarios that these porn people are offering to you. And I have vast experience with women who have big tits or women who are 18-year-olds in a sexual context. I've experienced these things, okay? When you see these scenarios, they're all bullshit. All of it. How people act, what they say, how they move, how they look, the makeup they've got, the clothes they're wearing, it's all bullcrap. For example, so you have a lot of stepdaughter and stepmom and stepbrother, fuck stepdaughter. That's a big thing on there, okay? So you'll see these porns. You guys know what I'm talking about. You watch this more than I do. You'll see this crap, and some dad will be working on, it'll be some dad, and it's a modern day looking porn guy. So he'll have lots of facial hair and goatee and, kind of fucked up skin. And, he'll be working on a piece of paper, and it's always in like, the background's always some house in like Irvine, California or some shit. And then his stepdaughter walks in, and she walks in, as soon as she walks the room, she's dressed in like a super high mini skirt. Do teenage girls, they wear mini skirts? No. Then she'd be wearing like a t-shirt with her titties popping out. And on the t-shirt, it's like a crop top. And it says daddy's girl on the t-shirt in all these sparkles. Teenage girls do not dress like this. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't. Even hot teenage girls, even slutty, sexy teenage girls do not dress like this. They don't. And then she'll go over to the couch and sit by her stepdad and say, Hey, stepdad, how you doing today? You look tired. Yeah, I've had a bad day. Oh, is there anything I can do to help you? I've been a little lonely. Stepdaughters, teenage girls, do not talk like this at all, including, and I'm being serious about this, including teenage girls who want to fuck their stepdad, because that happens. Including teenage girls who want to fuck their 35 or 45-year-old math teacher. There are women who want to fuck their teachers. There are young girls who want to fuck their stepdads. That happens in normal life. They don't act like that either. It's all bullshit. So as soon as I see these scenarios, immediately my brain shuts off. So this is bullshit. Why is she dressed like that? What the fuck? That's not how women work. That's not how women look. That's not how women dress. Or like, stepbrother fucks stepsister. Or guy fucks his best friend's girlfriend while she's playing Xbox. So like some porn chick will be laying on the floor and she'll have a little controller playing Xbox and she'll be like in a t-shirt and like, sweatpants or something. But her face is caked with makeup, caked with big red lipstick and foundation and way too much eyeshadow and shit. And like, that's not how women look when they're at home playing video games. This is bullshit. Stepmom. So you'll have a God, this stuff is so dumb. So like it'll be a POV thing, right? As if you're him and he's on the bed, you see his legs sticking out. It's from his perspective. And stepmom walks in his bedroom and she's wearing a little bathrobe, and it's like a mini skirt length bathrobe. So it goes way above her knee. And her big titties are popping out with the cleavage popping out. This is stepmom. Stepmoms do not dress like this, including hot stepmoms, including trophy wife stepmoms. They don't dress like this around the house. I'm sorry, they don't. So already my brain's like, oh, God. So she saunters in all sexily into her stepson's room, and she sits on the bed, and she's like, hey, Gary, how was, as you know, Gary, your father, who I'm married to, is on a business trip for a week. So it's just you and I. So I need you to be the man around the house. And girl's like, okay. Like, so how was school today? And then she puts her hand on his thigh as she's talking. Oh, it's kind of rough. Oh, really? Oh, that's so rough. Is there anything I can do to help you relax? Stepmoms do not act like this. They don't talk like this. They don't behave like this, including, and I'm being specific here, the stepmoms who would fuck their stepsons, because that does exist. Stepmoms who would hook up with their stepsons. They don't act like this. Matter of fact, they act the opposite. If a stepmom is attracted to a stepson, she like stays the fuck away from it. Trust me, I know things. I've talked to thousands of women about this stuff. I've dated lots of women. Trust me, it's all bullshit. Teachers, any scenario you can think of. The way these women dress, the way the men dress, what these women say, how they act. Now, what you're going to say is, well, Caleb, of course, acting has always been bad in porn. Porn has bad acting. Correct. But porn, historically, pre-internet, pre-Pornhub, displayed scenarios that were more or less normal and relatable. Let me go back to porn in the 90s. Those of you old enough to watch porn in the 90s. Because I was a young man in my early 20s, not getting laid. And so I watched a decent amount of porn in the early 90s on the Playboy channel. Okay? You know, those hacked cable boxes, the whole thing back in like 1992. All right. When you saw porn back in the 90s, they were normal, for the most part, normal scenarios. So like a man and a woman are stuck at the office, they're working on a project together and it's late and they're tired and like, oh, this sucks. And yeah, that's and then they get horny and they fuck. That's a relatable scenario. Or a guy breaks up with his girlfriend, and so they have a mutual third woman friend, and he's over at her house or she's over at his house, and he's sad and she's trying to console him, and then those scenarios are normal. And during those scenarios, they say normal things that, for the most part, normal things that normal people would say. Your brain doesn't go, this is bullshit. Your brain says, okay, now the acting is very bad. Yes. I'm not saying it's not about the acting. It's about everything else. Oh, something else. The women in old school porn, for the most part, not always, dressed normally. I know a little something about hot, young 18, 19-year-old girls. I know a little something about women who have big tits. I know how they dress. I know how they present themselves. And in the 90s, they would dress like normal women who are hot with big tits would dress. Not like, just ultra slut, like they're going out to do a dance team, like they're going out for Coyote Ugly, even though it's stepmom who's 42 years old. It's not bullshit. And again, I have context for this stuff. See, one of you is already saying this. Of course it's fake. It's porn. You're not getting it. That's not the point. These are scenarios that were relatable and didn't make your brain immediately turn off. I've lived these scenarios. I know these people. Like underage girl and underage babysitter, and the babysitter, like, what was one like? I've seen a few of these. The babysitter does something, and the dad blackmails the babysitter. And of course, it's all POV. The dad's not acting anything like a guy is acting. The teenage girl's not acting anything like the teenage babysitter would act. I know a little something about hot babysitters. I'll tell you a really quick story. Okay. This is actually not Alpha 2.0. This is back when I was a beta male and in my monogamous traditional marriage way back in my 20s. 20s? Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell the story really quick because it makes me laugh. My sister is a dominant, of course, married to an extreme beta male. They have 4 kids. And so my sister used to live next door to my mom and dad. Okay. One night I was over at my mom and dad's house picking something up. I was probably 28. This is when I was married monogamous. This is a long time ago, beta male. And my sister and her husband came home, and they had a babysitter watching the kids who were little back then. And so my sister goes in and starts putting the kids to bed, and her beta male husband comes into her and says, Ashley, the teenage babysitter. Now, so Ashley, the teenage babysitter, was probably 17 years old and really cute, good looking, big boobs, wearing a tank top, the whole nine. So he's all nervous because that's what happens with betas. They get out pretty girls. Oh, and she's underage. So now he's terrified. So he's like, Ashley needs someone to drive her home. And my sister's like, all right, go ahead and drive her home. He's like, I don't know if that would like be appropriate. I don't know. She's like, it's fine. Just drive her home. It's fine. I got to put the kids to bed. Just drive her home. It's fine. He's like, yeah, I don't think I'm comfortable doing that. And my sister's like, oh. And she thinks of me. She goes, hey, Caleb is over at mom and dad's house next door. He's over there right now. I see his car. Caleb would love to drive a cute teenage girl home to her house. So go ask him. And her beta male husband's like, oh, yeah, good idea. Caleb could do it. Yeah. And she's like, great, go ask him. And he's like, could you ask him? I don't know if I'm, she's like, oh. So she walks out the door, goes across the sidewalk, goes to my mom and dad's house. She walks out. I'm in the kitchen getting my stuff. And she's like, Caleb, I'm like, fuck you want? She's like, so, we have a teenage girl named Ashley, and my pussy husband doesn't want to drive her home. Do you mind driving her home on your way home? I'm like, hell yeah, bring her on out. And so I did. No, nothing happened. I did not cheat during my monogamous marriage, even though I wanted to badly. But we talked all the way home. She's like, oh, you doing to school? I was right. I was like a chemistry class. And she's like twirling her hair. I'm like, yeah. Should have got her number and waited 2 years, but I made up for it later. Anyway, what was I talking about? It's all about, got it. Now, so that's problem number one with modern day porn. It is portraying scenarios that are literal complete bullshit that have no foot in reality at all. Whereas old school porn, particularly 90s porn, was very, for the most part, not all of it, yes, you can find exceptions, was very reality based. When they told stories in the 90s, these stupid porn movies with bad acting, they told normal stories for the most part. Your brain didn't go, what the fuck? Your brain went, okay, I can see that happening. I've experienced things like this. Sure. And then they went right into the sex. And the women were actually hot, not disgusting. I could do a rant about that. I won't. Some of you guys like tattoos. Some of you guys like really skinny girls. Some of you guys like piercings. And I don't like any of that stuff because I'm an old man and I'm Gen X and fine. So I'm not even going to try to address that. I'm just telling you about what this does to your fucking brain. Okay. So problem number one, it's producing scenarios that if you watch over and over and over and over, you start thinking they're real. This is the same dynamic as when you see constant stream of Andrew Tate videos and Dan Bilzerian videos and all these ripped guys with six-pack abs driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris and banging all these girls. And you keep seeing this over and over and over again. And a lot of you, including you in my audience, and you fuckers know who you are, you go, well, I can never compete with that. I can never fuck a girl when I have to compete with that. That's a fraction of 1% of men. That's not your competition, dude. So it starts filling you up those bullshit. Now, here's where it gets worse. How do I say this? I have had sex with a number of women that is well into the triple digits. I'm not going to give you the exact number because that just causes arguments. It's well into the triple digits. I've been non-monogamous for 17 years. When you're non-monogamous for 17 years straight, multiple women at all times, the numbers tend to rack up a little bit. Okay? So I've had sex with a large number of women. So I have the context of having sex with a large sample size of women that most of you do not have. Just a fact. There's a handful of you in my audience who have also been with a lot of women. Some of you have been with more women than me. You will be able to relate to it. You will agree with exactly what I'm about to say. And if you don't believe what I'm about to say, because you only fucked 6 girls in your life or whatever, go ask someone you know who has had sex with a large number of women, and they will corroborate exactly what I'm about to say. Okay? Here's the deal. 98% of women who you have sex with do not act, look, or sound anything like any women in any modern day porn. Let me say that again to be more clear. 98%, and I mean that, 98%, when you watch a porn on Pornhub or any modern day internet porn, and you watch go, when you watch that shit, okay, 98% of women do not act like that during sex at all. There might be elements, but in terms of the whole picture, 98% of that women do not act like that at all. Now, 98% means there is 2% who do. There's 2% of women who go, oh, yeah, fuck me, daddy. They do that. They put on a little show for you. And we could talk about what psychological reasons they have for doing that. I don't know. Don't care. 98% of women are nothing like that. 98% of women don't say anything during sex. Well, not 98%. Let's maybe drop that to 50%. I don't know. Speaking generally, now let me back this up because I know people are going to argue with this or try to argue with me. I'm not saying that 98% of women are completely silent during sex. Not saying that. Women make noise during sex. They do. They make a decent amount of noise, but it's quiet noise. 98% of women or so make quiet noise while you have sex with them. They make noise, but it's not that. It's nothing like that. Toward the end, a percentage of women, maybe, I don't know what the numbers are, 30, 40, 50%, start getting louder and louder as they get closer to orgasm. Then they orgasm, they're kind of loud, and then they're done, and then they're quiet. But the volume you hear at the end for those percentage of women is the 100% volume you hear with women in porn. It's complete bullshit. A significant percentage of women, when they orgasm or when they start feeling really good, are totally quiet. They make noise, but you can't tell with the noise alone if they're getting ready to orgasm or not. You can tell if they move their body a certain way if you've had sex with them a long time. There's other ways you can tell. But those women don't even make any sound. They just say, I just came, or you're like, you did? I'm like, yeah. Well, Caleb, how do you know? She's probably faking it. These are women I've had long multi-year relationships with, not some random girl I just met off the street. I don't do one-night stands. I do long-term relationships, and I've been doing this for 17 years. Okay. The next challenge with porn is that when you watch all this bullshit, you start wiring into your dumb subconscious that when you fuck girls, they go, they put on this show and they say, oh yeah, daddy fuck me and oh, come in my face. And they're screaming and yelling the entire time. They go, they're doing all that crap. 98%, and I'm being literal about that number. I thought about this. 98% of women do not sound anything like that or do anything like that. They don't. Only the weird 2%. So that means if you want a woman who sounds like that, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go fuck 50 women and you might find one. Or you could, get a girlfriend or someone serious and tell her to act like that. That's fine. When women give you blowjobs, the number of women who have given me a blowjob is extreme. Well in the triple digits, I think. I don't track that separately, so I don't know. But around there, it's not there, it's close to it. When women give you a blowjob, they don't deep throat your cock and go, they don't do that. They don't. About 98% don't. Maybe let's say on that one, let's say 95%. There are 5% of women who do that. Great. 5%. Unless you specifically ask them to do that. And for the record, I don't ask them to gargle my cock. I don't care. That's a porn thing that doesn't make me feel any better. The only reason the 5% do it is because they've watched porn and they think that's what you want because you've been brainwashed by porn. Same exact thing with women who spit on your dick. Oh my God. The most famous woman on the fucking internet other than Kamala Harris right now is the Hawk Tuah girl. You don't need, sweethearts, women, if you're watching, you don't need to spit on a guy's dick when you blow him because when the dick goes in your mouth, you already have saliva in your mouth. That is purely a porn thing. And I hate to say this, and this makes me sad when I see this. I have hooked up with a few young girls who will spit on my dick as they're blowing me. I'm like, sweetheart, you don't have to do that. And I know immediately, okay, she watched porn. So she's trying to be like a porn chick. Don't do that. There's already saliva in your mouth. Oh, okay. And stop watching porn, bitch. Stupid. It presents to you an entire scenario that is false from the first second to the end. How the women look, how they act, the scenario, how the men look, how the men act, how they dress, what kind of sex occurs, the specific positions and moves. There are some positions that happen in real life in porn. Okay, I'll give you that one. But like, deep throating your cock, coming all over her face, how women sound during sex, what they say during sex. None of this is accurate. None. And in the olden days, a lot of it was accurate, including, here's another thing. Let's compare 90s porn to modern day Pornhub porn. When you watch 90s porn, you had someone going, oh yeah, baby. You had some, but a hell of a lot just made normal noise like a normal woman. So therefore, it didn't fuck up your brain as much as porn today fucks up your brain. The issue is not necessarily porn. The issue is modern day porn. If all you watched was porn from the late 80s, 90s, you'd be much better off. Now, I'm not saying you should watch a lot of porn anyway. Talk about it in a second. Because at least you're not filling your subconscious with all this bullshit that doesn't happen at all ever in real life. Ever. You can fuck a woman who does porn for a living. I've done it. Who does porn, and she doesn't act like that. Yeah, I just realized this. You can fuck a woman who does porn for a living, and she will not act like she acts in porn, because that's not how women behave during sex. At all. And you think, and when I say you, your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind, your conscious mind says, well, of course it's fake. I know this is fake. Of course this is fake. Yeah, I know. I understand. That's your conscious mind, dumb fuck. That's about 3% of your mind. The other 97%, your subconscious goes, that's how women behave. And that's how sexual scenarios occur. Hot blonde stepmom with big tits comes into her stepson and slowly starts caressing his cock. And that's how sex happens. And then when women get fat, they go, yeah, that's how sex, yeah, that's what your subconscious mind thinks. And this is why so many of you have problems like ED, you can't get your dick hard, premature ejaculation. Some of you can't come during sex. I've had women tell me about all these cases with a lot of you, not literally you, but other men they hook up with. I've had numerous women amazed that I can fuck them for 20 minutes and not come. They're just shocked. Oh my God. You made me feel good for 20 minutes? 15, that's amazing. I'm like, why? Oh, most guys pump, they come. I wonder why. Or guys can't get hard. They got to take Viagra and Cialis and all that shit. Some of you guys are in your 20s and 30s. You got to take fucking Viagra. And I'm double your age and I don't. Now, that's not just because of porn. It's because of a lot of other things. But that's a big reason for it. You're fucking up your ability to have sex with this modern porn shit. So if you really, really, really want to watch porn, you just can't fucking help yourself. We'll cover that in a second. It would be better. You can find this stuff online. You can look up 90s porn. I did for this research. And I went, oh yeah. Matter of fact, I saw some clips from the 90s porn I was looking that I remember seeing in the 90s. Or at least an actress or two. I'm like, oh my God, I remember her. Yeah, she was hot. Go watch that stuff. Now, here's the problem. If you're too far gone, you'll think it's boring. And you won't be able to watch it and it won't get you aroused. Because you need all this crazy shit. And if you've researched porn, you already know this, but I'll explain this to you. The reason porn is so, fucking insane. Hang on one second here. Check the technology here. Hang on. The reason porn is so disgusting and insane, I mean, on these porn sites, you get these ads, right? When you watch I didn't know this. I'm new to this, not new to this world, but I don't watch porn, so I'm not into this world. You click on a porn video and an ad pops up, just like YouTube, right? For a few seconds. And it's something trying to sell Brazzers is free, right? Or whatever. But sometimes they immediately say the most disgusting shit. Like, a black woman getting fucked in the ass and the cock comes out and her ass is still open and you're like, and you just like turn away and like just put my hands like, oh God. Those ads work. And the reason it's the most disgusting shit imaginable now is because Normal shit doesn't get guys off anymore. They're still used to the normal shit because of internet porn. Now they need to go crazy shit to turn them on. The woman parallel, all these young girls like to get choked. You know how many women under the age of about 26 like to be choked now? This is a new thing. I hooked up with a lot of girls under the age of 26, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. None of them asked them to choke me. But today they do. Why? Where'd they get that from? Yeah, porn. So it's possible if you look at like 90s porn or 80s porn, you'll be like, this doesn't do it for me. It's too normal. In my opinion, and this extends from the paleo-compatible dopamine I did several podcasts on, if you're going to watch porn, this is to be clear, I'm not a psychologist. My dad is. I've read some psychology books. I've talked to my dad a lot about these things. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a porn expert. I don't have any expertise. I'm not an ED expert. I don't have any expertise in these areas other than my experiences I've had. Okay. In my layman's, but lots of anecdotal data experience of being with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of women. Okay. And here's the thing. I don't have any sexual dysfunctions at all. I've never had ED other than what right after I got divorced. The first time I hooked up, I couldn't get up for 3 or 4 times and I was fine for the rest of my life. But that's because I had sex for 6 months or a year or whatever. I've never had ED. I've never had premature ejaculation. The problem of not being able to come, I think I've had that a handful of times in my life. I don't have any of these problems because I avoid porn. What porn is in my life is real life sex. Now, you say, well, Caleb, easy of you to say. Great. My point is, if you're going to watch porn, you want to watch something that is as close to real life as you can possibly get it. And you're not going to find that on the internet unless you do a lot of research and a lot of searching around. I mean, just on Pornhub, trying to search around for shit, I tried it. It's a nightmare. You can't find shit. It's all this disgusting shit. And every once in a while you see something that's okay, you're not going to find it without a lot of work. Or you could, and I just thought of this as I was talking, this wasn't part of my notes. You can just Google 90s porn and watch that. Try it if you have to watch porn. Now, to wrap this all around, the objective with porn is to minimize it, not to justify it. You don't want to justify problems. You want to fix problems. So you can't say, well, I'm not getting laid, I have to watch porn. No. Then if you say I can't help, I got to watch porn because I'm not getting laid, then what's the problem? You're not getting laid. Fix that problem. Go to my Alpha Male 2 Pinot blog. I have hundreds of articles to help you, hundreds of videos, hundreds of podcasts, 8 different books. Other PUA guys or pickup artist guys or red pill guys who actually give advice. Most red pill guys don't. You have access to so much information that guys like me, Gen X, did not have in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. You're so fucking lucky. Get the information, get out there and fucking get laid. Don't say, well, I have to watch porn. I'm not getting laid. Why aren't you getting laid, dumb fuck? Well, kid, you understand. I'm in a monogamous marriage. And what's my answer to that? Divorce the bitch or open up the marriage, do a marriage conversion, open-marriage.com, buy the book. It shows you step-by-step how to do it. Your odds of success are at least 70%. Convincing your live-in girlfriend or wife to let you fuck other women. Don't justify the problem by saying, I'm not getting laid. Well, I'm a loser. No one likes me. And fix it. I fixed it. I'll repeat it yet again. In 2007, I was a divorced, overweight, balding, beta male dad, 10 years out of dating experience, didn't know how to dress, with a big gap in my tooth, driving an 8-year-old car in an apartment that had no furniture except for a mattress in one of the corners. That was me in 2007 when I started dating. And I know what the hell I was doing. What the fuck I was doing. Within 2 years, I was getting laid so much, I had trouble scheduling all the women in. And I started giving advice to other men on how to get laid. If I can do it, you can do it. And I was in my mid-30s. A lot of you guys are younger than me and probably better looking. No more excuses. If you're addicted to porn, I don't have any easy answers. I don't know. I don't have resources for this. I'm not an expert. I get these questions. Hey, I'm addicted to porn, and what do I do? Pink Firefly, she had an ex-boyfriend who she lived with for a while, and Pink Firefly is fucking hot, and she was younger back then, and she would wake up in the middle of the night, and her boyfriend was not in bed. She's like, "What's going on?" So she would get out and go in the living room, and he was on his laptop jerking off to porn. He's laying next to Pink Firefly, but he had to jerk off to porn. So I realized that's a real problem, especially today. If you have that problem, here's my answer to your problem. Get help from an expert and address it. Don't just say, I'm addicted to porn, and what do I do? What you do is you find an expert to help you and address it and fix it. The example that I've used is that guys who have ED, guys who can't get it up at all, okay? They'll go, well, I can't have sex. I can't get it up. Then fix it. Fuck are you doing? And I've said this. If one day I woke up and I was seeing with my FBs or my girls, whatever, right? And I couldn't get it up, and it was a pattern of behavior, I mean, everyone can have a bad day, fine. I would probably assume, if that happened to me, I go, well, boy, maybe I'm getting sick, or I ate something funny, or I didn't get a lot of sleep. That's weird. So I wouldn't worry about if it happened once. But if it kept happening over and over again, I couldn't get it up, the next fucking day, I would cancel all my appointments. I would be down at the doctor. I'd be whipping out my cock, and I would say, fix me right now. Or at a minimum, determine if it's a physical problem or a psychological problem. The doctor can rule out physical problems. And if he says it's a psychological problem, I say, great. I would be on the phone to 3 different shrinks. Like, okay, my dick doesn't work. Fix me. I'll do whatever it takes. Let's go. I wouldn't say, but I have ED, so I have to jerk off the porn. But I have ED. No girl's going to date me because I have ED. Why are you making excuses for your fucking problems instead of fixing them? God damn it. It drives me crazy with some of you guys. You don't justify your problems in life. You address them. There's too many of you who just say, but I have this problem, so I guess I have this problem. No, you fucking fix it, man. You know how many problems I used to have in my life? I was a virgin until I was 22. I mean, fuck, I fixed it. God damn. I was born poor. When I was 18, I couldn't pay my electric bill. I lived alone. I couldn't put gas in my car. I didn't say, well, I'm poor. I can't afford it because I'm poor. No, I fixed it. Did it take me time and effort to fix it? Yes. If you have hardcore ED, if you have hardcore porn addiction, is it going to take you time and effort to fix? Yes, it will. Stuck it up, buttercup, and get to work. You're going to live with that problem the rest of your life? Are you insane? What the fuck are you talking about? It's just so stupid. What else do I want to talk about here? I'm doing on time. Let's look. Oh, okay. This is pretty good. That's it. So here's the bottom line. If you take nothing else away from this, if you have two points, if you're watching a lot of porn, get laid more. You fucking baby. Number one. Number 0. Okay. Number 2 or number 1 after number 0. If you have to, in quotes, watch porn, take the extra time and effort to try to find porn that is normal, and this is going to be hard unless you do 90s porn. 90s porn is an option. That shows you normal scenarios, even if the acting is terrible, it's fine. Normal scenarios with women who are dressed and look normal. They can be gorgeous hot. I didn't say ugly girls. They can be gorgeous hot 10s with big titties. That's fine. I know a little bit about gorgeous women who are 10s who have big tits. I know how they dress. They dress normal for them, who are dressed normal in normal scenarios where the woman is making normal sounds. You know, one more thing and I'll get to your questions. This even goes back to fucking Top. I'll give you the inverse problem. This really isn't germane, but it's an interesting observation I made a long time ago. When I watched Top Gun in 1986, the first Top Gun in the 80s when I was 12 years old, I think, 13 years old, somewhere in there. There's a sex scene in Top Gun, right? If you've seen it, right? And I remember being in the movie theater. This is how smart I was back then. I was a moron, but there are a few things I knew. I'm 13 years old. I'm a virgin. I have no experience with women. I watched the sex scene, and I immediately, this is just how my brain works again. I watched this sex scene with Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis. And I'm thinking, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. People don't fuck like that. Now, how did I know? I didn't know. I didn't watch any porn. It just looked bullshit to me. And guess what? I was right. Because in that movie, I mean, people don't go like this. That's not how people fuck. It's not. It's stupid. They like in slow motion and they're barely moving and their tongues come out like a quarter of an inch and then they go back in and and the music is playing. I'm like, this is bullshit. Now, I happen to be right. There are a lot of things I thought movies are bullshit that turned out not to be bullshit, but that was one. So that's an inverse example. It's not real. You know, if my audience was women, I would be talking about romance novels and trashy, Twilight type shit, because that's not real either. But that's women's problem. I'm talking to you guys. Okay. All right. That's it. Let's get your questions. Let me scroll up to the top. Hang on. Thank you for recommending the movie Blackberry. Enjoyed it a lot. Blackberry is one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years. Yeah. Because it wasn't made by Hollywood. If a movie's not made by Hollywood, you've got a fighting chance for it to actually be good. Would you be interested in doing a live stream similar to one about Conan on what BlackBerry teaches us? No, I will not. But I will do a nerd live stream about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons. And I will do that in November. I made that decision. I will do that. I got to release the Unchained Man first, do a live stream about that. I got to do my big reveal live stream about what I've been doing for a year. I'm going to do that on November 12th. I think you can look at the YouTube channel and it shows the schedule. And then at the end of all that, when the schedule is clear, I will do a nerd live stream, just like an open-ended nerd live stream. You guys, enough of you said you wanted to do that. Why would you recommend men not marry until the age of 35? Are you fucking kidding? Many reasons. What if the guy is a multimillionaire with expert level game at 30? Yeah, what if? What if, Caleb? Are you saying there are no exceptions to your rule? Not really, not that one. Men who are 35 have low odds of making a marriage work. If you're 30, and I don't do hypotheticals, well, Caleb, what if you had a unicorn and you're just asking a hypothetical for no reason? Why do you think Lemmy from Motorhead was able to have a reputation as a ladies' band without having any major allegations or scandals like his other rock star peers? There were many rock stars who had no allegations or scandals. All four guys in Kiss, they banged thousands of chicks. So he's not an exception. You're just thinking of the opposite. You're thinking of the small percentage who had problems. Did Gene Simmons have any scandals? He fucked like 4,000 girls. So did Paul Stanley. They didn't have any problem. There's lots of them. Do you think he was somewhat of an alpha male 2.0? I don't know. Possibly. I didn't follow him very well. I wasn't a big Motorhead fan in those eras. I was more like Judas Priest and Ozzy. Possibly. I don't know. Good question. Do you consider people who make money or promote OnlyFans or gambling or alcohol, tobacco immoral? No, I do not. It seems to me this strategy nowadays is very prevalent. Go to my blog, alphamale20.com/blog. Go to the archive and you just hit Control F and you can find morals and ethics. I do an entire article on what I consider moral and ethical. In my world, this is my opinion and my philosophy. This is not Alpha Male 2, but this is Caleb's opinion. Something is only immoral if it hurts you or hurts someone else. So if you sell cigarettes, is that, well, yeah, it hurts people, but they're voluntarily doing it. So let me add that in there. If I sold poison and someone wanted to buy it from me, would I be immoral? They wanted to buy it. It's a value for value transaction. OnlyFans. If I'm a hot girl and I show my titties when I'm 22, am I hurting anyone by doing that? No. Am I hurting myself? Well, you're going to regret it later. Maybe she'll regret it. Maybe she won't. You don't know. It has to be a guarantee. That does mean it's not stupid. Doing OnlyFans when you're a young girl and you don't know anything might be a stupid decision, but it's not an immoral decision in my world. I am not a tradcon. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religionist. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a prude. I'm rational. Something is not immoral because the Bible says it's immoral or my mom thinks it's bad. It's immoral because you are directly hurting someone or hurting someone else involuntarily. Is it mostly men who are leaving the collapsing West? That's a really interesting question. In terms of the United States, yes. Canada, United States, yes. Europe, no. A lot of women are leaving Europe. But the United States, yeah, it's mostly dudes. A lot of people who come here to Dubai from Europe are women, single women, a lot. And they're not here to bang Arabs. They're here for, for jobs and work and, a lot. So, yeah. Why do you think it took so long for stuff like video game or porn addiction to be considered a real thing? Did it take a long time? Do you think it is mostly affecting men has something to do with it? I don't agree with the premise of your question. My dad was a psychologist for 35, 40 years. A lot of experience. And he retired in Retired in the 2000s, somewhere in there. Throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s, he counseled hundreds of people and his team counseled hundreds of people. You did not get a bunch of guys with porn addiction. That was very rare pre-internet. It wasn't a problem men had. It's a problem now. So they recognize it now because it's a problem men have now. Men did not have porn addiction in 1984. They didn't have it. It was not an issue in society. I really emotionally hurt someone I cared about and I feel terrible. I have tried to apologize but I haven't heard anything back. I am trying to learn better from the pain in the future. If you haven't heard back, leave them alone. If you haven't heard back, leave them alone. And then if they talk to you again, you could apologize one more time and get acknowledgement and then move on. Then just move on. You apologize and then you promise to work on never doing that again. And then alpha male 2.0, if it's a woman who you're dating, you say, if you don't want to see me again, I understand. I'll let you go. If you're alpha male 2.0. If you're a beta male, you'll say, please give me another chance. If you're an alpha male 1.0, you scream and yell and you say, now look, you come back here tomorrow. We're not ending our relationship, okay? It's bullshit. Alpha 2.0, you say, you want to go? See ya. I last used OLD in 2022 and scheduled online dating. And scheduled 5 days a week using your techniques. Now I'm back and getting little matches. And I know you said December is a bad time for dating. What am I doing wrong? Well, this isn't December. I don't know what you're doing wrong. Get new photos. I don't know what the differences are in terms of what apps you're using. If you change cities, these all matter. The bottom line, when anyone having trouble online dating and you say, what do I do? Get new photos. That's always item number one. And yes, it's October. October is still okay. Around November 15th, stop. Just stop and get ready. Get ready to launch on January 2nd. January is awesome for online dating. For all dating, January is amazing. I do not watch porn as I want to be the one fucking. Yeah, that's me. You said there is no competition anymore in dating due to the collapsing West. That's an overstatement. It's not exactly what I said, but that is the gist of what I said. There's still competition, but it's not what men think. It's very little competition, but you have less competition now, yes. But I thought the consensus was dating is harder now. Yes, not because of competition. I have entire videos on this. Go through this channel on YouTube. It's not because dating is not harder now because men are more alpha and have more game. Are you fucking kidding? No, because women are more aware of men's bullshit. A lot of women are out of the dating market, especially Gen Z. They don't want to fuck anymore. B, online dating is saturated. C, that's why. Or is it just people complaining? No, statistically speaking, all forms of game are more difficult than they were in like 2005 or 2012. Online dating is harder. Day game is harder. Night game is harder. Social circle game is not. Social circle game is easier. And referral game is the only way I meet new women now. It's awesome. But it's a subset of referral game or social media. Social circle game. So social circle game's gotten easier. That's gotten more effective. But the online night and day game, yes, it's all more difficult. Yes, it is. It's not people, complaining. It's true. People's perception of porn addiction is just on the front page of Pornhub. I fear that the anti-porn crusade will result in good porn being banned. Well, yeah, it's possible. As the left continues to gain more and more power in the West, they already run the West. Even if you vote for Donald Trump and make him president for life, America will get more left every year. So yes, women use the argument of Child trafficking. Oh, child trafficking. We got to make this porn illegal. So it's possible. Sure. What's the solution? Get laid more so you don't need to watch porn anymore. When consulting and presenting to a team, is it best to have slides when speaking to a team when you're not rambling? I already answered that question in the last live stream. Hey, Caleb, I'm a young guy moving out soon. Thank fuck. Good. What is less worse? Moving with roommates in an average area or living on my own in a shitty, crime-ridden area of town? It depends on your personality. That's a very good question. If you're an extrovert, roommates are fine. If you're a really anal, picky, touchy introvert, get a piece of shit apartment and live on your own. So it depends on your personality. Some guys are very tolerant of stupid roommates. Some guys' roommates drive them insane. Depends on you. So look inside yourself. What kind of person are you? Are you more relaxed, chill, not very picky, extroverted guy? Roommates are great. If you're Mr. Anal, introvert, INTJ, like, why did you put the thing in the front? Don't get a roommate. And don't live with a woman. Don't know where this is coming from. How do I get this feeling of being shallow if I'm attracted to only hot women? It's coming from something called societal programming. Buy my book, The Unchained Man, and read about how to get rid of that. That's your mommy and your daddy and your religion and your grandma telling you, and then your female friends and to a degree Hollywood telling you, don't be attracted to hot girls, then you're shallow. I'm only attracted to hot girls. I will marry, and I will marry women who look like Playboy playmates, who other men wouldn't marry, they just fuck. So I'm the opposite. I lean into the fact that I like hot girls. I've completely leaned into it. And I show up with women who look like Pink Firefly, look like Barbie blondes with big titties, and people roll their eyes, and I don't care. I'm fucking her. Who you fucking? Then you see his wife. Oh, my God. I have an MLTR of almost 1 year who I haven't given the talk to. She has some hot Latinas that I want to bang. Is it okay to do a referral game if I haven't had the talk in this situation? If she's under the age of 24, yes. If she's over the age of 24, I would have a talk. Does watching porn affect erections? I realized I wasn't able to get it up because I didn't find the girl attractive. It can, absolutely. I mentioned that earlier. Yes, absolutely. Not for everybody, but it can. Yes, absolutely, dude. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. One guy said it did for me. I don't care what anyone says. Porn fucks guys up. Yes, I will modify that. Modern day porn fucks guys up. Yes. How much does it cost to set up and maintain a corporation in the most inexpensive Dubai free zone? You're going to spend on the licensing, you're going to spend about $4,500 a year, tax deductible. So the way you just a math problem, will you save more than $4,500 a year in taxes? I would spend quadruple that and still save money on taxes. If you're like, I don't think I would, well, then don't do it. Porn is like cigarettes and shitty food for your dicks, right? Basically, how to get rid of massive porn addiction while working on getting your woman life, and it's taking up a while to get late dates lined up. I hate the feeling of watching porn. Like I said earlier, find an expert. Go online, find a guy who is an expert in helping guys get off porn. There's a bunch of them, or a therapist who specializes in getting guys off porn or porn addiction, and work with that guy and get it fixed. Really important. How do you handle billing? Do you have a USA LLC that does billing for your Dubai corporation? Yes, I do. Then pay USA taxes on 2-3% revenue for providing processing services. Pay taxes on 2 to 3% of revenue for providing processing services? I don't know what you're talking about there. No, it's a pass-through. I've mapped this out before. I have a Delaware C Corp. I have several structures, but the one you're talking about is I have a Delaware C Corp that owns a Dubai corporation 100%. The Dubai corporation owns an LLC in the United States. And the LLC pays no taxes. The Dubai corporation pays no taxes other than possibly the 8% tax here. And then if I pass through anything and take it out of the Delaware Corp, then I pay half of the corporate tax because it's 100% foreign-owned corporation. Can a man who has a healthy sex life also watch porn consistently, or do you think both are really true at the same time? It's possible, but I wouldn't fuck with it. That's like saying, well, if a guy's not an alcoholic, but he drinks every day, is it okay to drink every day if he's not an alcoholic? Do you want to take the chance? I wouldn't. Strip clubs in Latin America are better since they are actually brothels. LOL. I don't fuck hookers. I never have. It's not a thing I'm into. For those of you like fucking hookers, there's two rules. I've talked about the 2 rules you must adhere to if you pay for sex. Then fine, fuck hookers. Otherwise, no. Hookers is not my thing. But if you like hookers, okay. As a white guy, the abundance of white women for dating in the collapsing West is the one thing making me reluctant to leave it. Thoughts? In Paraguay, they're white. This is a very classic American thing you're saying. The only white women in the world are in America. Have you been to Ukraine? Have you been to Eastern Europe? Have you been to Russia? Have you been to Western Europe? Have you been to Argentina? Have you been to Brazil? Have you been to Paraguay? They're white. Have you been to Panama? They're white. Or at least half of them are white. Paraguay, half of them are white. You're the typical dumb American who thinks all the white girls are in America. Hello? No. I live in Dubai and I live in Paraguay. 100%. Let me think about this before I say it. Okay. 95%, 99% of women in my life right now are white. The ones who aren't white are the more Mexican looking girls. That's one girl. 5, well, 2, 3, 5, 10%. I have a lot of FBs. I might be one of Caleb's biggest turnaround story. I went from 33K in debt, stopped masturbating. I can't tell what that means. I don't know what emojis. I don't speak emoji. I'm Gen X. And went on ADHD, Vivance, signed 4X, $75,000 1-year consulting packages within 7 weeks. Bro, awesome. I owe CJ the life I have. Dude, that's fucking great. I'm going to repeat this again for those of you listening. He had 33K in debt. He signed 4 $75,000 1-year consulting packages within 7 weeks. Not bad. You guys can do this if you do the work. Or you can try to re-elect Trump and think everything's fixed. I once saw a black guy fuck a hot blonde chick, and I got jealous because I wish I was with her. Any tips to stop being jealous of other men in regards to women? Yeah, go have sex with 2 or 3 really hot girls, and then you won't care. The issue is that you're not jealous of guys fucking hot girls. The issue is you aren't fucking hot girls. That's the issue. All these types of questions, you would be amazed, almost all you guys, you would be amazed at the number of problems having sex with 2 or 3 really hot girls fixes. You'd be shocked at the number of problems it fixes in your life, things you wouldn't think would be fixed. Because I went through this in 2007. Those of you who know my story, after my divorce, I drew a line on a scale of 1 to 10 for me, 8s, 9s, 10s. I drew a line at 8, and I said, I'm not going to date any women below an 8 for the rest of my life. If that means I don't get laid, I don't get laid. But I'm going to do my best to only date 8s, 9s. Didn't really have a lot of 10s in Portland back then, but 8s and 9s. And it worked. And I'm like, whoa, changed my whole life. That's the answer. Do the contractors you hire for your business work for you full time? No. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a few contractors I have that work 40 hours a week, if that's what you mean, yes. Do you ever have to provide training? No, I use SOPs. Training is stupid. Use SOPs instead. Or worry about the IT equipment they use is secure. No one is working on any of my hardcore financial stuff or proprietary client stuff. The only time I worry about that is if I'm doing consulting and they're doing consulting vendor stuff and there's potential client leaks of client data. Very rare these days. Bigger deal for me a few years ago, but now no. I mean, if you help me do 90-day business builder, do I care what kind of equipment you're using? No. You said your son went to college. Did you pay his college tuition? Absolutely fucking not. I'm against college. No. And I told him at the time, college is stupid. He wanted to go, so he paid for it himself. He got a scholarship. I think his mom helped him a little bit. I think my mother, his grandma, helped him a little. I think I didn't pay a penny for that. I don't believe in college. Why would I do that? No. I'm assuming the new Unchained Man wasn't ready yet. It's ready. Talk to Amazon. Amazon and Audible are fucking around. So it's going to be in 2 weeks. I gave them another 2 weeks to get their shit together. I'm just waiting on Amazon and Audible. As soon as they're ready, I'll release it. The UFC is going to take place in Abu Dhabi this Saturday. I was invited. Correct. I was invited to do that. Yeah. Why the UAE and Saudi Arabia got into sports? It's because sports bring people together and they want to eliminate their dark past. That is correct. The UAE has already figured this out. Saudi Arabia has now figured this out. They can't rely on oil forever. They've got to convert to tourism, banking, and business and trade. And so that's why they're bringing in all the UFC and all that cool stuff. That's why you're seeing these amazing transformations, both in Dubai, which already happened, and now the next transformation happening in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and to a lesser degree, Qatar and Bahrain. These countries know, the smart Middle Eastern countries, there's only 3 or 4 of them, they know they can't rely on oil the rest of their lives. So they're being smart about this. Yeah. Be honest, how many times did you beat off during your research? I think twice. I remember one definitely. So I'd say twice. Not my thing, but I did it. Sure. When I finally found something that I kind of liked, I'm like, oh, that's okay, I guess. Was I beaten off all day? No, I don't have time, and I have sex. A girl who was my perfect type, 10 out of 10, ghosted me mid-conversation, and I'm having thoughts that no girl out there is like her physically. How do I get over this? You're clearly being irrational, or wish you know you're being irrational, or else you wouldn't answer the question. You keep going. You keep going. You keep going. Imagine you got hired for a sales position and you had to make outgoing cold calls. So you made one cold call. The guy said, fuck you, and hung up the phone. Would you like, okay, I quit. No one will buy this product. Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. Same thing. One girl who's hot told me to fuck off. Oh, I'm fucked. I'm screwed. No one will fuck me ever. No hot girl will ever fuck me ever again. Back in 2007, when I was going after 8s, 9s, and 10s, do you think there were any 8s, 9s, and 10s who refused to fuck me? Massive amounts. My ratios back then were 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 first dates. It was brutal. It was awful. The vast majority of women said no to me. Did I go on one date or text one hot 10 and then she ghosted me and I went, oh, I'm fucked. I just have to jerk on porn the rest of my life? No. My biggest turn on is seeing a white guy fuck a Latina chick. I'm a white guy and I fuck a lot of Latina chicks. Or a chick who has tan skin, stone like a Middle Eastern or something like that. Don't know why. Any idea where I got this? Yes, your sexual desires as men get wired at around age 13. So that means likely, I'm not a psychologist, but this is true. Happened with me, happened to most of you. Something happened when you were 13 that wired in, that's what's hot. The vast majority of you listen to the sound of my voice, you want to know where your sexual desires came from, your type of woman? It's something that happened when you were about 13, 14, maybe 12. So between 12 and 14, something happened. I got locked in. I remember what happened to me. 2 things that happened within like a week period that locked into what I'm attracted to, which is very short, very tiny, platinum blonde hair, big tits, little body, and giant ass. That's what daddy likes. And I know exactly where that came from. I've talked about my blogs. I had 2 experiences where I saw certain things happen. I'm like, oh, when I was like 14, and it just got locked in there for life. And now it's locked in there for life, which is fine. So if you like it, great. Thoughts on Saudi Arabia? Ditch the US dollar, meaning the petrodollar deal 1974 has expired. It was not renewed. I addressed that a few months ago when that happened. It's just another chick, another demerit on terms of the West, another negative for the West, another positive for BRICS. It's just yet another thing. But I did a whole analysis on that about 2 months ago. You can look back on my channel at the Unchained CEO channel. Did you have to use VPN or workaround to watch porn in Dubai? Yes. Yes, Dubai does block that stuff here. Yeah, you do. Yeah, for the time being. Wait 2 or 3 years and they'll stop blocking it. But yes, I did. How do you reset and rewrite your brain from watching porn? Well, I don't know. Here's what I would do. This is what, and I talked about this on my dopamine compatible stuff. Okay, a few podcasts ago on this channel. When you hit yourself, when you wrestle the Cyclops, when you do yourself, don't watch anything. Stare at a wall and think about shit. That's the best way to jerk off. If you have to jerk off, don't look at anything. I talked about this in my paleo compatible dopamine series. Could cavemen watch porn? No. Could cavemen look at a picture of a hot girl when they jerk? No. They had to just close their eyes or stare at a cave wall and fantasize. Do that. That won't fuck you up. Watching porn will. So start with that. What are your thoughts on Matt Cross from YouTube channel called The 33 Secrets? Never heard of him. I like talking a lot. That's a problem on dates. I don't know what your context of your question is. What is a good way to make money as I like talking? Do what I'm doing right now. Find a narrow niche. Find out what the problem is from that niche and develop content like this, long form videos, long form audio, long form podcasts, and talk about it. I sometimes talk by myself for hours. Is this a problem? Is it a way to stop feeling lonely? Well, what did I say earlier? If you're lonely, stop being lonely. Go get somebody. Get an MLTR or two. Stop being lonely. Go get someone. Go make friends. Caleb, how do you make friends? Don't ask me. I'm an introvert. I don't care about friends. Go online and figure it out and solve the fucking problem. And what I said, if you like talking, do long form audio content. Niched. Don't do long form audio content about how to lose weight. That's not niched. I once bought a leather purse for a chick because I had one-itis for her. And she was seeing another man, which made me feel like a beta cuck. So I guess any man can fall victim to this. One-itis is men's default setting. Yeah. It's something you have to guard yourself against and reorient your brain against. I have had one-itis in over 25 years, but I had to work on it. But that is men's default setting. Yes, is one-itis. Correct. How to overcome being desensitized by banging too many FBs and MLTRs. I don't have that problem. You know how many FBs and MLTRs I've banged? I don't have that problem. Starting to notice I'm struggling getting an erection despite being mentally horny and then being hot. Plus, new and chain man. I mentioned I should talk about that. Are you watching porn? I'm not kidding. Guys who fuck a lot of girls can have the same problem. Are you watching a lot of porn? Number one. Number two, are you fucking the same physical type of woman over and over and over and over again? So if you like skinny girls with small butts and small boobs, and that's what you like, that's your type, and 100% you're just fucking those, change it up a little bit. Get a new girl in there who looks different. Maybe has bigger boobs or a bigger ass or is taller or shorter or a different race. Or so I've talked about this. I have my type of short blonde girl with big ass. I was never attracted to Asian girls ever until I met one at a party, which is at my house. She was a friend of the girl I was seeing. Referral game. Okay. Long time ago. But she had boobs. Unlike most Asian girls have flat chests or small, but she actually had real boobs. I'm like, oh. And we talked and really hit it off. It was really fun. We just really clicked. So I had sex with her. First Asian I ever had sex with. And it was amazing. Ooh! The angels cried. So anyway, after that day, now I'm looking at Asian girls. Like, oh, give me more of that. That was amazing. And it was great. She was great. Special person. So that's where HBM came from, and, you know, Japanese girls. And so change it up if you can. The Americans that are in Dubai, there are no Americans in Dubai. I'm the only one. I know a very tiny amount. Yeah, Americans don't come to Dubai. They're scared of Muslims because they're pussies. But how do you think they'll vote for Trump or Kamala? I know you are not voting, but others will. I would say most American expats are probably going to vote for Trump. Expats tend to be a little more libertarian-ish than left-wing-ish, but there's a lot of like young digital nomad backpacker type dudes that are kind of hippie-ish from the United States, and they're left. So it's hard to say. If they're in Dubai, they're business people like me, they're going to vote for Trump if they're going to vote. I just found out that in 2023, you did a 90-day Valentine's Day in November. It was blown away. I missed it. How'd it go? Will you do it again? I will never do it again. No, I will never do it again because not enough of you signed up. And I said that was the last time I tried it. It was the third time I attempted it. Because you guys kept saying, hey, do a business builder thing for dating and I'll do it. And it'll be a few $1,000s and I'll buy it. And you never do. You guys always say this, but you never do it. Only 6 people signed up, I think. And 5 out of the 6 got laid. 5 out of the 6. I'm pretty sure that's right. It was a year ago. And then the one who didn't, I think, eventually did, but it took him a longer. No, I will never do it again. You didn't buy it. Kayla's feminine, seductive voice is my next favorite thing. Yeah, when I go, yeah, it's very seductive. I know. Do some women have an issue dating bisexual men? Yes, they do. Some women do. Do you think a bisexual men keeping their sexuality secret to the OLTR, MLTR could lead to issues down the road? This is a very big topic. I will summarize my opinion about this. I don't believe in bisexual men. I think men are binary in that they're gay or they're not. I think men who call themselves bisexual are gay guys who don't mind fucking a girl every once in a while. Or if it looks good to fuck, they will do it. But they prefer men in their heart of hearts. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. If you are attracted to men, you actually have sex with men. You don't have to tell your MLTRs that. You absolutely will have to tell your OLTR that before she becomes your OLTR. Absolutely. You can't hide that from your wife or your long-term girlfriend. That's insane. That's just ridiculous. Why would you do that? MLTRs, you don't have to tell them. OLTR, absolutely, yes. You said you were going to talk about your new seduction thing in October. So I have pushed that to November 13th. Matter of fact, I'll give you the exact date. It's on my YouTube channel now. If you go there and click lives, you'll see those thumbnails of upcoming ones. It should be there now. Maybe it's not there yet. If it's not there yet, it'll be there in a few days. I'll give you the date because we've put it in the schedule. I will be discussing it. I've already made up the slides and everything. I'm going to use slides. There's a lot of information. It's not a dating tech. Hang on. Let me give you the date first before I jump around. Content posting schedule. Oh, wrong screen. Hang on. I'll give you the exact date. I talk about that because you guys keep asking. Oh, shit. Okay. AL5. Sorry, we have a numbering convention, so I have to look up the numbers. AL52. Hang on. AL50. AL51. AL52. November 18th. No. That's wrong. November 13th. So if you want to know what I've been doing last year, I'll finally tell you fuckers. November 13th. That's when I talk about it. I'm going to go into detail about it, like vast detail. Like I may not be able to take any questions. We have to do 2 live streams on it because it's long. And it is not a dating technique. It is only something I am doing. Most of you can't do what I'm doing because you're not me. You don't make 7 figures. You don't have 17 years of dating multiple women across the world. You're not location dependent. All those things are required to some degree. I'll get more specifics about it, but you guys want to know, so I'm going to tell you. So I had to push it in November because I couldn't fit in October. In the last video, you said Alpha 2.0s, you should tell women you have a girlfriend and never hide anything. How about the explicit phase? Okay, I'm confused. In the last video, you said Alpha 2.0s, you should tell women you have a girlfriend. Right. So when I'm married, so when I meet new women, I tell them right off the bat, I'm married. Here's a picture of my hot wife. It's a DHV and social proof for me. How about the implicit phase? Explicit phase. You mean the implicit phase. You should say the phase is wrong. That's more for MLTRs. If you have an OLTR, you can't have an MLTR. So it's not relevant. Okay. So the implicit phase is not super relevant if you have an OLTR because 100% of all the women you see are going to be FBs with no emotions. And if you want a long-term FB, it needs to be the kind of woman who doesn't care if you're married. I.e., much younger girls who don't care and women who already have boyfriends or husbands themselves who won't care. Do you think men have to become competent in hookup culture, ability to get a one-night stand in order to be considered competent with women in general? I don't say it that way. Men need to have the ability, alpha male 2.0 baseline. You must have the ability to bring in 2 new women who are at least cute to you into your sex life within 4 weeks. So if I say 1, 2, 3, go, you should be able to, 4 weeks from now, have 2 new women you're having sex with. And they can't be they can't be ugly and they can't be average looking. They don't have to be gorgeous. They have to be at least cute. If you don't have that ability, you need to build up till you have that ability. Because if you don't have that ability, if you fuck a girl who is cute, you're going to get instant one-itis. and get clingy with her because I can't get the girls. So you have to have that ability. Do you need to be super pickup artist player guy? No. 2 women in 4 weeks, any man has the ability to do that with the proper practice, outcome independence, confidence, game skill. I didn't say you're going to bang super hot 19-year-old Instagram models in 3 days. Okay. You ever been with a lesbian woman? I've explained this. True lesbian women will never fuck a guy. There are women who are bullshit lesbians. I've been with several of them, yes, but those aren't true lesbians. Or a woman who has a lesbian aesthetic that you found attractive. Example, pixie haircut. No, I'm attracted to extreme feminine features. I'm an extremist about this. I'm a masculine guy. My personality is more on the masculine side of the scale. You're attracted to the opposite. So I'm attracted to extreme girly girls with makeup and little dresses and super long hair with little sparkles on. That turns me on. Short haircuts turn me off. That's me. Some guys have more balanced personalities. They're not as masculine. They're not feminine, but they're kind of in the middle. And they can be more attracted to like the Halle Berry haircut. That's fine. No right or wrong to that. That's just me. I have a brother who is very balanced. So he's attracted to women who always have short haircuts, not that attractive, but very low drama, very chill, a little more masculine. That's what he likes. And that's fine. As I keep saying, fuck what you like. I like extreme. I mean, my wife, Pink Firefly, you've seen her in these videos, seen pictures. She's almost a caricature of femininity. Her hair, she has platinum blonde hair that goes past her ass. Big triple D boobs. I mean, makeup. She's dresses in little girly outfits and high heels, and that's what daddy likes. If a woman posted on social media that she had sex with you, would you be bothered as it can ruin your reputation? If a woman says she's had sex with me, she's going to be pretty hot. That would help my brand. That would be nice if more women did this. They don't. Well, that's not true. One or two have, not mentioning names, but no, that'd be great. unless it's a woman who I hooked up with like 15 years ago and now she's fat. There's a few of those. I hooked up with her when she was 19 and smoking hot, and now she's overweight because she's 35 and American. And she says, I fucked Caleb. She has to be clear about when. And people said, why'd you fuck this ugly bitch? I'd say, here's a picture of how she looked when I fucked her. But no, speaking in general, that would be good for me. Let me think if I could say this. Hang on, need a drink. Should I say this? Hang on. Yeah, I could say this. There are a few women out there who have audiences to some degree of their own who I've said, hey, let's do some kind of like, collab joint venture where we say either we flat out said or we hint we hooked up, and then you can sell this and I can sell that. And one was kind of interested. The other two didn't want to do it. I remember the 90s window construction guy, plumber, looking through the blinds, seeing to get her in the living room. 90s window. I don't remember that. You made me think of John Belushi in Animal House, which was awesome. That was like, 79, 80, where he climbs the ladder and he's looking right at the chick who like undresses and shows her boobs. Movies you can't see anymore because the male gaze is evil. If there was a video of your wife having sex and suck dick, how would you not be bothered by this? Video? If there's just a video and no one saw it? You got to give me more examples. I know you're saying outcome independent, but how? You got to give me more specifics. And again, I don't do hypotheticals. Once saw a girl on Instagram and masturbated on her pictures while she looking at her Instagram profile. Is this beta? I once saw a girl on Instagram and masturbated on her pictures. Dude, everyone does this. Except me. Lots of guys masturbate to pictures of girls on Instagram. No, it's not beta. Now, again, is that paleo compatible dopamine per what I said several weeks ago in my series? No. Could cavemen go to Instagram and find a smoking hot girl and jerk off her picture? No. So that's not a good idea. When you jerk off, stare at a wall or close your eyes. Why women say they can't find a good man and say they struggle with dating. Why so many men and women struggle with dating nowadays? These are very broad questions. I'm going to give you a very broad answer. Women have always struggled with dating for many decades because women can fuck whoever they want. So now they can fuck whoever they want. Most guys are beta males who are unattractive or alpha male 1.0s who yell at them and piss them off. So they don't have a lot of options. And you have online dating. So the woman fucks the guy. It's a classic story. This happens several times. The woman fucks the guy and he's on the edge of the bed on his phone and she looks over and he's swiping for new girls. He just fucked her. So women run out of that crap. Hey, can two real blonde or Latina twins or look-alike engage I'm real sex with the same man? Is it possible or all fantasy? Yeah, you mean identical twins? Is it possible? Yes. I'm dating myself. The TV show in the 80s called Stingray. His name was, what was his name? He had really dark eyebrows. Oh, what's his name? God damn. Any of you guys old as me, who was Stingray in the 80s? The black leather jacket, very Italian looking guy, really good looking, like studly looking dude. He, you remember again, I'm dating myself, 80s, 90s, the Barbie twins. Remember them in the 90s? He married one of the Barbie twins. And these two Barbie twins, quote, share everything. So that she shared her husband with her sister. So anyway, he's a celebrity. Can you fuck twins? Yes, it's possible. Very difficult because the statistical probabilities are against you. You got to find two twins. They have to be good looking. What if there's two twins that are ugly or fat? You want to fuck them? Probably not. So you got to find twins who are good looking and they're friendly with each other. And they live in the same city and. Only once in my life have I fucked a woman who was a twin sister. And I had thoughts about hooking up with her sister. She was in and out of my life very quickly. But I had thoughts. I'm like, you have a twin sister? Because she was not gorgeous, but she was cute. 8? Ooh. And she showed me a picture. I'm like, ooh, that'd be fun. But that's really hard. A lot easier. Sisters. That's very doable. You can find plenty of women who are hot, who also have a hot sister who is legal. Lots of those. Easier. Do that. If you were in the United States and got a chick pregnant, I would never do that. I'm not stupid, but okay. And lived in a red state, how would you handle this? You drive across the border into a blue state? You were living in a blue state, but now red states ban abortion. You get in a car. It's called a car. You may have heard of the car. Okay. And you get in with her and you tell her to take the day off work. Okay. And you get a few $100 and you drive a few hours across the border to an abortion clinic, get the pills, have her take the pills, watch her take the pills. And then you give her you take her to McDonald's and get her an Egg McMuffin. That's an old joke. And then you drive her back home. My sister, hot neighbor, she is annoying as fuck. Though I wanted to please work on typing correctly when you ask me questions. Be with her, but she is one of those women who grew up with rich parents. I don't know if her sister is much better. Did the universe allow this to happen? I can meet the sister and she has a better personality and more girlfriend material. Okay, but I want to fuck both. How would you handle this situation? Okay, you're insane. You don't think about girlfriend material with women you haven't even had sex with. You're being a total beta. I don't know why you're being like this. You're being very silly and very one-eyed. Pick one sister who is most likely to fuck you based on her personality and fuck her. And don't worry about the other sister. Fuck the easier one first. Then get to know the sister. Then maybe do a referral game on the sister, which may or may not work. And stop worrying about girlfriend quality. God damn. Andrew Tate said that he hates the weekends because all the broke people come out and he calls broke people ants and rich people hate weekends. Do you hate weekends? Andrew Tate's very angry. He's one of the angriest men in the world. So he hates everything. Andrew Tate hates eating food. Andrew Tate hates having, he said it. I'm not putting words in his mouth. He said it on Twitter. Andrew Tate hates having sex with women unless you impregnate them. He said it. So he hates everything. I don't now. hatred, take that out of the equation. Now I agree. I don't believe in weekends. You shouldn't take the weekend off because it's 2 days off and society says, no, you should work as long as you need to work to accomplish your goals. I work 7 days a week. I'm not supposed to. I should work 6, but I work Saturdays and Sundays. I don't differentiate Saturdays or Sundays from any other day of the week because that's stupid if you have big financial goals. It's ridiculous. Do I hate weekends? No, I'm not angry like Andrew Tate. Why do you think when watching modern day porn, you see gay and trans porn on the front page along with straight porn? Because it's popular. Because it's popular. Because it's popular. You may think it's gross, and I do too. There's a hell of a lot of men who very quietly like that shit. Pornhub is a very well-run business. If you're seeing it on the front page, it's because people like it, men like it, and they click it and they watch it. That's why. These disgusting ads I mentioned earlier, the reason they're there is because they work. Guys go, oh, that's awesome. Now, I think it's gross. You may think it's gross. You're an individual. Pornhub isn't selling to you. Pornhub is selling to millions of people across the Western world. And they have the analytics to show they like that transgender porn shit. How do you approach a group of women that are walking and there's a guy in the group? You see a lot of this during night game. I don't teach night game. I can't answer those questions. I teach online dating and what to do on a first and second date and some social game and some referral game. Every chick keeps telling me they'll vote for Kamala. Correct. That is right. Women will vote for Kamala. Mm-hmm. And it gets annoying. You shouldn't be annoyed. You're outcome dependent. Outcome independent. You shouldn't care what women vote for. As I like Trump, Trump sucks. He's going to destroy your country. He already has. But I live in a blue state. So you're outcome dependent all over the place. Completely wrong attitude about all these things. You shouldn't give a shit about Trump. You shouldn't like or hate Trump. You shouldn't care who women vote for. America's fucked. All these things you care about. Does your wife also say she votes for Kamala? If so, how do you not let your wife or girlfriend religious or political views affect you? Okay. Pink Firefly is non-political, but she hates Trump. She doesn't hate Trump because of politics. She has no strong political opinions. Most girls don't. They don't. Some of these left-wing Gen Z girls do, and they don't know what they're talking about. Pink Firefly has no strong political opinions. She doesn't like Trump because he's, quote, an asshole, which is why most women don't like Trump, not because of politics, because he comes off like an asshole, and women don't like assholes. That's why. It's not a political thing. It's an emotional thing, which is why democracy is such a horrible fucking idea. You don't want people voting for emotional reasons, which is what most people vote on. That's why your country is a goddamn clusterfuck, and I don't live there anymore. I live in Dubai, which is not a democracy and is 10 times better than the United States. Almost across the board. Is Dubai perfect? No. It's 10 times better than your fucking country because it's not a democracy. We don't have to worry about psycho people voting in our elections because we don't have any. So that's number one. Number two, how do I not let your wife political or religious views affect you? Outcome independence. You shouldn't care what your wife or girlfriend or fucking is religious views or political views. Unless she lectures you all the time. That's the only time you should care. But if a woman was lecturing me on her politics or her religious views, she would never get anywhere close to being my OLTR. Pink Firefly, and we have a rule. I've mentioned this before. Pink Firefly have a rule together. We do not discuss religion because she's Christian. She's actually a practicing Christian, although that's rapidly changing. She's morphing into more of a new age thing because she's read some books. Anyway, sorry for the time. But if I start talking about religion, I'm going to start talking about how it's false societal programming and you really think Jesus like raised people from the dead and teleported out of thin air like Star Trek, loaves and fishes. You really think he fucking did that? And then she starts getting mad because that's what Christians do. They get mad because they know you've got them. They have no data to support their views, so they get upset. So she finally said, can we just not talk about religion anymore? I say, yeah, that's a good idea. So I don't care. And politics, she has no strong political views. She's very confused that I hate everybody. Wait a minute, you don't like Trump and you don't like Kamala? When Oprah was planning on running for president many years ago, she's like, well, Oprah might run for president. I said, terrible. She's like, you hate everybody. Yes, because I'm a libertarian. There are no libertarian-minded people in society, in mainstream society. We're only 1%. And that confuses her. What do you think of guys who only watch 2D as opposed to 3D live action porn? I don't think there's a difference. Would all these problems that you have with porn also apply with written porn or not? To written porn? You mean reading a sexy story? That'd probably be okay. You're not visualizing, you're not seeing it. So that would probably be okay. Well, no, because that could, if you did it a lot, no, that'd be a problem too. Because I just said women's problem is romance novels. So if you did a lot of that shit and they were crazy scenarios, yes, not as bad because you're not visually seeing it. It's not getting wired in quite the same way, but it's not ideal. Latina women are freaky. Some are, yes. I once saw this white guy fuck a Latina chick behind a bar in the alleyway, and he was a bartender, which is crazy. No, it's not. Bartenders get fucking laid. Bartenders get laid like rock stars. Bartenders get laid, dude. Have you experienced anything like this? Yes. I've had sex outside. I've had sex in parks. I've had sex in cars, on cars, side of the road. Yes. I've done all that shit. Yep. Pornhub used to be good, but then they nuked pretty much all the third-party content or something like that. Now it's only the shit stuff. Okay. I lost my virginity at 22 with a 35-year-old woman. Hey, I lost my virginity when I was 22 to a 40-year-old woman. So join the club. Because I watched so much porn. Oh, I didn't have that problem. And masturbated multiple times a day. I got a death grip. I couldn't come. We fucked for 6 hours with breaks, fun times. Still didn't come. Well, that sucks. What about porn that is just pucking without any storylines and fake porno moans? I like the nasty stuff like BDSM, though. That's how I like to puck in. Oh, you're saying fuck? You can say fuck in real life. Without the storylines, yes. Without the fake moans, yes. That's fine. I said that. Yes. BDSM, if you're into so here's the thing, you guys are in BDSM. A bunch of you guys are. I'm not my thing. If you're into BDSM, then if the porn you watch is realistic BDSM that you would normally experience, then it's okay. If it's these crazy fucking weird ass scenarios where she's hanging from chains from the ceiling and flipping around, are you going to do that? No, then you shouldn't do it. Do you think Russian women are bad to date because they are narcissists and have lots of trauma? That's why they're very hard to date. That's one possible reason with a lot of them. Yes. You can read my article about it. Yes, to a degree. Also, do you think Russian women are okay to date as FBs and low-end MLTRs? No, I don't. They're going to give you drama. Trust me. Try it. Try dating a Russian girl as a low-end FB or low-end MLTR. Try it out. Watch what happens. You're going to get drama. Demands, bitching, moaning, screaming. You're going to get it. Watch. Try it. Don't believe me? Try it. Just try it. I'm sure there's exceptions out there. There are. I know there are exceptions. But even the exceptions are going to make demands that be managed. There are exceptions to that, but like I said, even the exceptions, the more mellow Russian women are going to be making demands of you. I could give you examples, but I don't want to go off on a tangent. When a girl has an emotional attachment to you, how likely is it for her to come back even if you hurt her? Depends on how badly you hurt her. In reference to what I said earlier, cheating on her and deceiving her. Depends on how badly you have one-itis. Stop worrying about her. Go fuck 2 or 3 new attractive women immediately and stop worrying about her. You're being a pussy. What do you think about being on OnlyFans / cam woman manager overseas for non-English speaking women? Is it a good potential Alpha 2.0 business, assuming everything is legal and can be location dependent? Not niched. Not niched. You know what I mean? You know how many companies are like that in the world? Very saturated, thanks to people like Andrew Tate. If you can find a narrow, weird-ass fetish niche, sure. Weird, narrow fetish, and that's all you do, then it would work. If it's just cam girls who are hot, not niched, won't work. Unless you're lucky and you can't emulate luck. Doing an online blitz on Bumble with new profile, new photos. I'm 45, but have my age set to 30, targeting BYWs. Been 2 weeks on every day swiping and still no matches. Any suggestions? No matches? Not a single match? If I'm reading you correctly, you're not getting a single match. You've been swiping for 2 weeks and not a single match. Your pictures are terrible. Something wrong with your pictures. I don't know you're doing something way off. I don't know what it is. Or your location is set wrong. Something's way off. You're getting 0 matches. What about OnlyFans? Same exact thing. So if you're watching video of sex, problem. If you're watching video of a girl being naked and rolling around in her bed, less bad, because it's not sex. So if it's not sex, less bad. We're talking about sex. Porn is you're watching sex. OnlyFans is generally you're watching pictures of girls or videos of girls rolling around their bed. Now, what if she's fucking another girl? Problem. 2 smoking hot 10s making out with each other naked and sucking each other's tits. That's not good. Unless they're acting perfectly normal. But how often does that happen to you in your life? Watching 2 girls in front of you fuck. You see my point? Are sites POF and OkCupid relevant? Shit, hang on. Relevant anymore? And why has nothing? Yes, they are still relevant. Yes, they still work. You should be on them. In most cities, not all cities. Why has nothing retains Tinder's dominance after all these years? No early adopter sites currently. Here's my guess. It's because so many people are opting out. So many men, Gen Z and millennials, black pill guys, MGTOW guys, incels are opting out. And so many women, Gen Z girls, are just opting out. They're saying, oh, fuck it. And they're leaning more into porn and OnlyFans. That's my guess. So I think the market has actually decreased. I think. That's my guess. I don't know if that's true. That's my opinion/analysis. I could be wrong. The fact that so many people are opting out really is changing a lot of these dynamics. And OnlyFans. OnlyFans has de facto replaced a lot of online dating for guys. So that too. I forgot about that. A beta male could go on OnlyFans and watch his favorite girl and DM her and get responses from her. It's a gay guy in Germany she hired and go, whoa. That has replaced a lot of online dating. As I keep saying, the more of these things that occur that take men out of the dating pool, the more women for us. It's great. This is why it's so easy. It's never been this easy to hook up with older men, hooking up with younger girls, and hooking up with hot girls. It's easy. It was not this easy 10, 15 years ago. It wasn't. Still do it. I did it, but not like that. Not like today. Way easier. Would you recommend setting as a dating radius for someone whose max driving distance one way is 1 hour? I can't answer. I don't know what city you live in. So you need to go on a map and you do a traffic analysis on Google Maps of what 1 hour radius looks like for your city. And you kind of draw that shape. And then from that shape, you get an idea for the radius. Every city is different. Depends on the traffic, how much hills and mountains, all that shit. How did you realize that having the ability to walk away from woman was what keeps her attractive when society, music, Hollywood teaches to fight for the relationship and not give up so easily? Because Hollywood stories is not dating advice. Hollywood stories are fantasies like Narnia and Lord of the Rings. So rom-coms are not dating advice. They're fantasies. Mostly women fantasies. So rom-coms, romance, that kind of stuff. Is that mostly for men or mostly geared toward women? Women. So it's a fantasy. That's why. It's not dating advice. Mystery said this 20 years ago. He's dead right about this. What women say they want and what women, excuse me, let me start over. What women say they're attracted to and what they're actually attracted to are 2 completely different things. Because societal programming teaches women to say something different than what they really want. A woman is never going to say to you, what would really turn me on is if you kind of ignored me and acted kind of aloof. And I saw other girls on your social media. And she's never going to say that. What is a woman going to say? Take me out on a date and buy me flowers and text me every day and kiss my ass. That's what I like. She won't say that's what turned me on. She'll say that's what I like. If you listen carefully, women, they won't say that'll make me horny for you. They don't say that. They say that's what I want. That's what I like. Can you talk more about how open relationships are often more honest and trusting than monogamous ones? Not often, almost always. Yes, because in a monogamous relationship, there's 10,000 things you can't tell your partner because your partner will get mad. In an open relationship, non-monogamous relationship, you can tell them almost anything. I mean, I'll say this again. I literally I just stopped doing this recently because I don't care anymore. But for the last 10 years, 7 years, when I hook up with one of my FBs, I'll put it in my calendar so Pink Firefly sees it. Total open disclosure. So I don't have to lie about it. Great. It's awesome. John Anthony Lifestyle says, you know, when a comment starts out as Andrew Tate says, or Jordan Peterson says, or John Anthony Lifestyle says, it's going to end up, the next part of the sentence is going to be something stupid. So let's see what it says. John Anthony Lifestyle says that men who go down women are gay. There you go. How to make peace with deep-seated regret, simping over women years ago before becoming red pill aware and discovering your stuff. It's the past, but I can't help thinking I should have known better. Fuck 2 new attractive girls. What did you do to mitigate potential leaks from contractors due to IT when you were doing more consulting work? Whatever the consulting client mandated for the security, the contractors had to prove that to me. And every client's different. Is watching lesbian vanilla porn okay? Like watching women kiss each other? Not as bad, but not good, because how often are you in a scenario where you're in bed and next to you are 2 women kissing each other? Never. So it's not that great. What advice do you have for dating girls taller and usually older than you? Those are 2 radically different things. Older than you is easy. That's very simple. Taller is a problem. You need stronger game, more confidence, more outcome independence. I've done it. I don't like tall girls, but I've been there. I was with a girl who was 19. She was 6'1". I'm 5'10" and a half when I'm barefoot. She was 6'1" barefoot. So laying down when you're having sex or hanging out or sitting, it's not a big deal. When you stand up, you'll go, whoa, it's just so weird. And I remember this is what was weird for me. Like we didn't last very long because it just didn't work. For me, at least. I had to tilt my head up to kiss her when we were standing. And it just felt weird. I got to tilt my head up to a woman. I'm used to bending down and getting way down to kiss a girl. That I like. So, but yes, if she's taller, women generally do not like dating men shorter than them. So it requires more game skill, more confidence, more independence. Since Valentine's thing is gone, I wasn't aware. What do you recommend something very similar to it? Get to sex fast or any others? Well, that was a service. The only thing I can offer you are my books. Store.calebjones.com. All my books are there. I recommend the Ultimate Online Dating Manual updated for the 2020s and Get to Sex Fast. Yes, those 2. Yep. Are you ever likely to disclose details about your cardio healthcare M&A company? Publicly, never. I will never do that. No, and I don't want to, and I would be in trouble if I did, I think. Next time I do a live seminar in your area, come to it and I'll talk about it then. So I will never discuss that publicly ever. Is what you're doing radically different than your current relationship structures? Yes, it is quite radical. You're going to be surprised. Yep. It's still non-monogamous, but it's something brand new I've never done. And as far as I know, no one else is doing it. Some other guy's doing something similar, but not what I'm doing. That's why it's going to take so long for me to explain. I'll be like, what? I'll think, wait, let me explain. Then I'll explain. And you go, oh, okay. I was smashing 3 girls in the summer at the same time, but I got one-itis for the best looking one. Don't do that. Don't do that. As I also clicked with her as well. She was my ideal physical type. Don't get one-itis. Don't get one-itis. Don't get one-itis. Fuck. But at least you're aware of it. Stingray was Perry King. Okay. Then it's not Stingray. God damn it. It's not Stingray. It is Wise Guy. I can picture it. What was his name? Fuck. Google it. Who was Wise Guy in the 80s? God damn. He fucked, now I can't remember her name. That porn actress who made it mainstream, who was in the Blade movie. See, you get older and your memory just goes to shit. It sucks. So it's Wise Guy. Ken Wall. Ken Wall married one of the Barbie twins, okay? And then would fuck both of them for years. I think they got divorced. Are they still married? He might be still married. I don't remember. He got in like a motorcycle accident and it fucked him up. Ken Wall. Tracy Lords. He fucked Tracy Lords. I mean, he was like Mr. Player in the 80s. He fucked some hot chicks. Oh, then he also fucked. This is deep 80s lore. You're not going to understand this unless you're a Gen X like me. Remember the girl in Amazon Women from the Moon? The girl at the very end of the movie where the guy, it's a POV and he's fucking this hot girl with big tits and Andrew Dice Clay comes in and yells at her because it's his wife. That chick, he fucked her. He dated her, then Tracy Lords, then married with the Barbie twins. This guy was like a monster. So there you go. But he was, shit, celebrity and really good looking. So, what you gotta do. What do you think about erotic nude sites like MetArt? Never heard of the site, but if you like erotic nudes, I think they're fine. What if you only watch porn that you pay for? That's not relevant to the discussion, pay for it or not. For that's a good way to cut down on your porn consumption, isn't it? That doesn't make any sense. You just said. Egg McMuffin, Tom Leykis fan confirmed. You're right. Get her the abortion and get her an Egg McMuffin. That's right. Women have a tendency to be attracted to assholes and criminals. They don't, yes, but they don't have a tendency to vote for them. They hate them in politics. No. If Trump wants more female voters, he's got to calm way down, and he won't. Love your first 2 Dubai videos on Dubai. Will there be an upcoming video about Dubai now that you have more than 3 years in Dubai? Yes. Yes, I have several planned. Yes, I do. I need more Dubai content. Yeah, I do. For the other channel? Yes. Now that I'm back here in Dubai, next week is going to be the first week under 90 degrees. I'm very excited. Oh, I'm so excited. It's just, I love Dubai. Yeah. Have you seen the Harvard Medical Journal studies that showed caffeine contributes to dementia and Alzheimer's? Yes, I have. And it's shown to shrink parts of the brain. Yes. Yes, I have. I'm going to say this again. I said in 2014, stop drinking coffee. Coffee has caffeine. Caffeine is a drug. Just because societal programming says a drug is okay does not mean it's good for you. Stop drinking fucking coffee. Then many years later, Alex Becker came out with a video saying, oh my God, I stopped drinking coffee for 30 days and my whole life has changed and now I feel so much better. And then all of you guys said, hey, Caleb, did you see the Alex Becker video? What do you think about that? I said, dumb fuck. I said that to you 10 years ago. Don't drink coffee. I have never had coffee in my entire life. Do I look low energy to you? It is 11 p.m. at night where I am. Do I look low energy? You don't need fucking coffee. If you want to feel good in the morning, A, get 8.5 hours of sleep or so, like I get. Track it with your Oura Ring. B, when you wake up in the morning, I have a thing right by my desk. Those of you doing the immersion service, you'll see me do this every morning. It's a big bottle with a little salt in it, several pinches of salt. I drink 14 swallows of water with a little salt in it. That'll hydrate the fuck it. First thing in the morning, right after I weigh myself. Do that. You'll be shocked at how good you feel. It's this fucking coffee. What do you think of 50 Shades of Grey? I hate it because it's made for women, but I saw the movie because Pink Firefly liked it. I couldn't stand it. I sat there and just wanted to shoot myself in the fucking head that entire movie. But I like the song. What's that song? I forgot the song. I like the song. Have you seen it? Yes, I've seen the movie. Does it turn girls on? Very much so. Absolutely turns women on. Yes. Or do you see it with her and try it? Oh, I don't do BDSM. Women are turned on by 50 Shades of Grey, not just for the BDM stuff. Pink Firefly is not into BDSM at all, and she loves 50 Shades of Grey. It's not just about BDSM. It's the entire fantasy of the young, innocent girl and the rich, powerful man who's a little aloof, and it's just a pure woman fantasy. Are Russian women good for anything other than sugar babies and prostitutes? I would not have a Russian sugar baby. That's a relationship. I don't have sex with prostitutes, so I wouldn't do that. Russian women are awesome if you don't date them. I've said this on my blogs. They're really good looking and they're very smart. They're really fun to talk to. They're funny. They're witty. That's why it's such a tragedy about Russian girls. Russian women are amazing, just not to date. They're going to scream and yell at you and bitch and moan and complain and say, spend more money on me. But they're really cool people. They're awesome to hang out with. How would you go about fucking your boss's hot daughter? Don't fuck your boss's hot daughter. If you care about your job, you're being stupid. I thought of seeing it just to know what goes around woman's mind when horny. True when you say men are horny all the time and women are wow. Oh, right. Are you talking about 50 Shades of Grey? It is educational to watch the 50 Shades of Grey movies. Just the first two. The third one, I mean, they're awful. They're horrible to get through. But it is educational to watch one of the Twilight movies. I took my daughter to one of those. I wanted to shoot myself in the goddamn head. Oh, but she loved it because she's a girl. And Sex and the City, the TV shows or that movie. The Sex and the City movie, you'll learn a lot. It's horrible. It's a slog. You'll want to jump off a cliff. It's not made for you, but you'll learn a lot. I did. What those movies send to women. I mean, those movies are genius movies in targeting the female brain. I mean, they're amazing. Especially the Sex and the City movies. My God. Because those are written by a gay guy. He's got it. He's got women dialed. I'm like, wow. Now I get it. Hated it. It'd be like dragging your feminine girlfriend. It'd be like me dragging Pink Firefly to a Star Wars movie. She'd just like, oh, fuck this. Is non-monogamy stated anyway in your prenup? No, it's not required in the jurisdiction where we had those signed. Why does almost every rich guy get into watches? Is it a worthy investment? You are poisoned by social media. I am a rich guy. Do you see a watch on my hand? So, no. Not every rich guy buys a fancy watch. Grant Cardone does, and Andrew Tate do. Influencer guys. Some guys do. And most don't. Most would never buy a watch. You think Warren Buffett or Bill Gates would buy a $500,000 watch? No, they think it's stupid. Is it a worthy investment? It can be because the inflation has moved into luxury assets. So it could be an investment. Not an investment I would choose. I prefer cryptocurrency, precious metals, and real estate. Why don't you have an expensive watch? What I just said. I don't invest in things because they're cool. I invest in things because they make money. Thoughts on AED being pegged to the USD in the long-term future to buy? It's always been pegged. That's something new. I don't know why you're asking that question. There's been no change there. Here's the deal. America collapses. I've written about this. You think AED will keep the peg? No, they'll let it float. They'll let it float, or they'll peg it to the Chinese yuan or something. What about Gen Z women? What's replacing online dating for them? Nothing. Well, the women who are opting out. Gen Z women are opting out. What's replaced them is talking to their girlfriends on WhatsApp and shit. What financial advice do you agree from Dave Ramsey? Do you agree or disagree with? Very big answer. I don't have time to get into it. Most of his baby steps I agree with. I've modified them slightly for Alpha Male 2.0. I had my first threesome, okay, and could not get my dick hard because of nerves. That can happen. Yes. Had sex with both independently before. That can happen. Yeah. Likely because of insecurities, body, dick. Any help, please? That kind of scenario, take Viagra. Just once. You don't need it every time. That's just this is for all of you. And I've done this. I've done this a few times. If it's an event that's not typical for you, like a threesome, unless you do threesomes all the time, that's not an event. But if you've ever done one before, or your first Instagram girl, or I don't know, something that's a big fucking deal, that's actually kind of intimidating and exciting, take Viagra, take Cialis. And then don't eat. Don't eat all day until after you have sex, because that'll help you get hard. Having no food in your stomach. Those two things. Are there age restrictions on OkCupid and POF where you have to make your age younger just so they let you search younger women? Yeah. Yes. OkCupid, I believe so. POF, I also believe so. Yes. So what I say to guys is put your age at 30, but state in your profile or very clearly, I'm obviously not 30. Will you announce what you are doing with your relationship? Already answered that. And it's not a super FB like you talked about. It is not the super FB. It is radically different than that. You promised to make a video interview with one of your FBs. I did not promise that. Incorrect. I said I would ask them, and they said no. Join my immersion service, www.caleb.top/shadow, and you can see some of my girls there. I did not promise to have an FB on my video. I never promised that. I said I would ask. Women are really scared about this stuff. Men are scared about this stuff. A lot of Instagram models go to Bali. That is correct. Okay, 2 or 3 more questions. I'm going to go. Hang on. Why am I getting so hungry? That's weird. All right, 2 or 3 more questions. We're at 2 hours here. A lot of Instagram models go to Bali. Is Bali a good place for a game as there are lots of Instagram models? No, there are a lot. You could list 20 different places that fall in that category. Dubai would be one. Ibiza would be one. Santorini would be one. There's about 25 different spots where Instagram models go. So go to Bali if you want to go to Bali. Don't go to Bali just because there's girls there. That's stupid. Thoughts on drugs like LSD and psilocybin, shrooms? My standard opinion, I haven't changed about this. I'm a minarchist libertarian, so politically, all drugs should be legal at the federal level in every country in the world, including here in Dubai. All drugs should be legal. Having any drugs illegal at the federal level of any country is silly and destructive and psychotic. It's ridiculous. That's my political opinion. My personal opinion, I am very anti-drug. Drugs fuck you up. It raises the potential for problems in your life. Life is difficult enough if you're not doing drugs and you're not an alcoholic. So why would you introduce drugs and or smoking and or alcohol into the mix to make it even more complex and more difficult? I would not do it. But I'm a libertarian and I'm an individualist. You want to do drugs? Do all the drugs you want. I'm not going to touch them. And I never have, and I never will. I might try it once. I don't even want to do that. I've never even been drunk. Why? So that's my opinion. Do what you want. All right. 1 or 2 more questions. What do you think about the meaning of life purpose for a woman? I want to help my Alpha 2.0 wife find purpose. You're going to fail. Because she is neurotic and very outcome dependent. Can a woman have purpose thoughts? Okay. You can't sit down with a woman and tell her to follow masculine psychological models. It's not going to work. You'd have purpose and goals and a mission and be outcome independent. She's going to say, what? My wife is extremely outcome dependent. Extremely so. Extremely emotional. And she's wonderful and I don't care. And I've told her, you'd be happy if you gave less of a shit. I know. What's she going to do? You cannot change the woman you're with. You need to love and accept how she is. That's why it's so important about who you pick for your OLTR. You be very, very careful of who you pick. Because once you got her, you got her. She ain't changing. So I understand where you're coming from. You love her and you want her to be happy. I get that. Trust me, I get that. And remember, as I talked about in The Unchained Man, women can't be long-term happy. They don't have the ability. So you can't say, well, I'm long-term happy because I'm Alpha 2.0. Then my wife should. No. Women can't be long-term happy and they don't want to be. That's not how they're wired. Women want a range of positive and negative emotions. They don't want to be happy all the time. That would be boring for a woman. And women hate being bored. It's the worst emotion for a woman is boredom. So you can't even, so don't even bother trying. Just be there for her, love her, take care of her, listen to her, and accept how she is. How often should you meet with FBs to maintain them if they're in the same city as you? My general answer is maximum once every 6 weeks. Maximum. Sooner is better. Once every 4 weeks-ish to keep them on the line. Yeah. How do you game Instagram girls? Go to I got to go now. That's a very big answer. Go to store.calebjones.com. Go down to mini courses. And there's a sugar daddy mini course and there's an advanced super sugar daddy mini course. That's for Instagram girls. Buy that course. Cool. All right. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys next week at the Unchained CEO live stream. Cool. All right.